Hello guys, so let's get started. Today we are going to talk about Collage format and image editor modules. These are my contrib modules on Drupal.org. Maybe you've seen them, maybe not. Anyway, enjoy. So we are going to start with Collage formatter. And the general task that Collage formatter is going to solve might be like this. You have many or several images, and you need to lay out them inside some given area. Usually it's a rectangular area, and you want the algorithm to lay out them so that the images are not overlapping, they are not cropping, they retain their aspect ratio, and also their importance factor is satisfied, like how relatively big should be one image against the other one. And also you want to cover a maximum percentage of a given area inside which you should lay out the images. So it should look like a collage of images scaled so that they are laid out inside an area, and it looks just cool. Algorithm. The module I wrote implements some simplified algorithm called block recursive image composition that was invented by Hewlett-Packard Laboratories. It basically builds a binary tree with nodes, and every image is a leaf in this tree, and every parent is either vertical or horizontal connection of childs. So if you have two images, then you can connect them either vertically or horizontally. If you have many images, then you have many connections, and you start with two images connecting horizontally, and then you get this compound image and then connect it to the other image either horizontally or vertically, and so your collage is formed. And the resulting collage will be the top parent in this hierarchy, in this tree. So let's see the settings page. It's the settings for the image formatter inside the Drupal for image field. The same settings I applied as a view style plugin if you have images coming from the views. And it allows you to generate either one or several collages from all your images. Specify how many images per collage and how many images maybe to skip from the start of your collection. Then it also allows you to set the collage orientation. Basically, it can be a wide collage or a tall one. Then you can also set the width or height of the collage, and then different borders and gaps between the images. The module also features the integration with different white boxes, so you can click on the resulting collage images and they will get opened in the white box of your choice. Drupal related stuff. Image styles are basically a really cool feature of Drupal, and I wanted to utilize them because there was some alternative module already called image metrics, but it wasn't using the image styles system. It was generating the images using some custom code and also delivering them using some custom code. And basically the module adds the image effect to resize the original images to some calculated dimensions that are produced by the algorithm. The module also features the ability to flush the generated images, because if you are changing the amount of images in the collage or just changing the order of the images, like it's coming to the algorithm, the module can generate many different derivatives of the images. And you can also add your own effect to the collage formatter style. It can be sepia effect or any other color changing effect on the images. You just don't put the image dimensions changing effect after the collage formatter effect. So the collage formatter effect should set the final image dimensions. The module features field formatter and view style plugin, support for different white boxes, and also responsive layout. There was some tricky development involved with the image styles. As the image is showed by the image style, there was a requirement to code the calculated image dimensions into a file path or file name of the image that will be a part of the collage. So our usual public field image photo becomes some collage formatter field image photo with width and height encoded into the file name. And this new file on the file system is either a copy of the original, it can be also a symlink to original, or it can be a fake. So it will be just one pixel image that will be a fake of the original image, and the algorithm will get the original image by just passing the file path and getting the original from the original file path. And then the final image style path becomes like styles, collage formatter style, public, then collage formatter folder with symlink or copy of fake image, and that is how it works. And then the image style system fires up the collage formatter style, fires up the collage formatter effect, and this effect just parses this URL of the file and finds the original file and does all the needed calculations with it. So let's look at the demo. The demo is built like that, and basically this is the collage, and it allows you to click and get the model gallery. This is the photo box gallery, and it works like that. So basically the collage is not the one big image, it's the layout in the terms of it features some templates and CSS styles to put the image into this grid. That's it, I believe, for the collage formatter, and we can just look for the settings. Structure, content types, article, manage fields, and here is the image with the collage formatter. Basically generate one collage with all the images in portrait, and it works. Let me check if you asked any questions about it. Yep. What are the use cases for this collage functionality? What sites we're using it? Basically no sites. I don't know of any site that is currently using it. I have seen one website, it was a wedding agency, and they were featuring their photo galleries using this format to the images. But in any other case, I was writing this module just because I like the algorithm and its mathematical implementations. So basically, it was just spare time to write this algorithm, put it into code, and get it working. Presentation. That's it for the demo, and future plans. Basically, the collage formatter module features a very simplified version of the algorithm. It just calculates one layout and it does not allow to choose layout from the variety of different possible layouts with these images, basing it on some estimation function like what layout is satisfies our requirements more or less. And so the future plans include adding support for the image importance factor, like assign to the images some importance factor so that this image should be bigger on the resulting collage than the other ones, and so on. and at least support it by the image order. So basically, if the image comes first, then we would like it to occupy more space in the resulting collage. For now, it is not doing any of these calculations. There is also some architecture thing, like we need to separate algorithm into some reusable class or library, so that we can reuse it for the Drupal 8 version or reuse it in some other PHP projects, like based on Symfony and some others. And also there is a very interesting part like implementing another algorithm that is called genetic programming, and basically to satisfy all the requirements you need to calculate all the possible layouts, and this is really a complex task and can take much of CPU time, like if you have, for example, 50 images and you need to put it into a collage, satisfying width and height constraints, satisfying image importance factor constraints. It is very computational heavy task, and it can take, for example, 20 or 30 minutes to do the calculations. And there is another approach to it called genetic programming. It is based on the assumption that you don't need to calculate all the possible layouts to get the acceptable result. So you can just calculate some population of layouts, random ones, and then start doing some genetic mutations between them, like getting a part of a tree and putting it into some other place in the tree, and changing the trees between the layouts. So doing some mutations. That is why it is genetic programming. And then you do it, you assess every layout using some estimator function. So you need to write some estimator function that should be computationally easy to get. And after you get this estimator function taking into account image importance factors, layout covering percentage, and so on, then you can compare layouts between each other and choose the best layouts from the population and continue genetic mutations between them. And after several generations of some of these population of layouts, you should be able to get some acceptable layout. If you are interested in this topic, please contact me in private. I have the paper that discusses this exactly for the image layouting problem. That's it for the collage formatter, and let me check the questions. Okay. So the next one will be the image editor module, and here it goes. It can look like this. So basically you can edit image just right on the side and save the result back. And the again, generic task of the image editor can be formulated like this. You have any image on the side and you want to edit it in some image editor with any image editing operations this editor allows for, including taking a new one from webcam and writing something on it or drawing something on it, and then you want to save the result back just right to the side. So basically you don't need to download the image locally, open it in some local editor and then upload it back. And also you want to have some way to undo or to have a backup of the original, so that if you did something wrong with the image, you can always get back to the original. And maybe also create a new image, like a new photo of you every day on your personal site, and satisfy this use case. A little bit of image editor history. It was a first big module for me in development, and I have almost no knowledge about Drupal at the start. It started several years ago as Drupal 6 module for the single picture editor. I don't know if you heard about it or not. It was acquired by Autodesk not so long time ago, basically like 2 years maybe ago. And then it was developing, like I added a couple more editors into it, still Drupal 6, and here comes the name change to image editor. Then there was a Drupal 7 port, and after that I became more knowledgeable about Drupal, and so I decided to do a big architecture change to migrate to CTools plugins and to several submodules. Submodules include API module, module for image field editing, module for editing inline images like any image you see on any web page on your site, and separate submodule that features webcam plugins. So you can fire up this editor, take a picture of you, and save it back to the site. Image editor plugins are of 3 different types. So it can be editor plugin that describes the single image editor with callback functions to fire up at required places. It also has overlay plugins. Overlay here is the model box or light box in which any image editor can initialize on the page. It features, I believe, color box and jQuery UI and custom overlay, so you can use any of it. And it also features the uploader type of the plugin. It was developed mainly to test out the module locally, because then you are firing up the image editor that is like a service. It needs a way to get your image, and if you are developing it locally, the image is not available from the outside of your network. So I was needed to upload it to some image sharing hosting like ImageFrog or something like that. And here I developed the uploader plugin for it. And basically the architecture change are required to use the hook CTools plugin type and hook CTools plugin directory plus CTools get plugins function. If you have an understanding of these 3 hooks and function, then you can write your own CTools plugins. And okay, so here comes a demo in the code, and I just want to ask you a simple question. So based on the description of the functionality, how do you think, how many thousands of code lines does the main image editor module have? This is a tricky one, and I would love to get some answers in the chat. Let me see. 2K, 5K. Oh, good. 1K. Good. And here comes this module. And and it has basically 267 lines of code. So not really much. And this is a module file, yep. And if you add the admin file, it's just 30 lines of code, and pages file, it's 70. So altogether it's about 450, so less than 1,000 lines of code. And this is the API module without any plugins, but with all the architecture needed to initialize plugins and other stuff like image editor info, get all image editor plugins, and so and other stuff. JavaScript, yep. JavaScript file that initializes all the API is 88 lines of code. Just 88 lines of code. All the other stuff comes into individual plugin files. Let's take a look at the editor plugin, some usual one like Pixlr. It will be plugin declaration with some callback functions, and it's just 60 lines of PHP code, and then 30 lines of JavaScript code. Really compact, and now we'll see how it all functions. Too easy, yeah, too easy. But I don't really know the estimate of how many hundreds of hours came into this module. And here is the demo. It looks a little bit broken, but it features the image editor inline. Basically, you can hover over any image, and there is a pop-up with image editors. You can fire up any of it. This is the overlay, basically jQuery UI. It will load your image, allow you to edit it. Let's take the bigger one, like this one. Another editor. Okay, so what can we do with it? Like borders, maybe this one. Yeah, like this. How it actually works? Apply what? I don't know. Yeah, like this. Oh, cool. Apply, save. Okay. And here is the alert with some text that the image was from this website, was backed up, and other stuff. Image styles were flashed. Okay. Refresh the page. Here it comes with the green filter applied to it like we want it. And also it allows us to see the versions of the images like the previous ones, like it was, and just go back to another version. And here it goes. It changed back. And here comes the image field integration. Basically, on any image widget, you have the same image editors you can use, and I want to try the webcam, if it will allow me to do it. Yep. Okay. Take an image. This one, I like it a lot. Yep. Here it goes. Sounds fun, and I should be able to edit it right away if I want to in some other editor. And something like, I don't know, sharpen, resize, colors. How about colors? Saturation. Oh, temperature. Let's make it really cold in here. And then save. Replace. Oh, cool. And then just save it. And here it goes. So, some questions. Can the banner be removed? I believe no. It depends on the external service integrated with the website. So if the banner is in there in the image editor service that is providing the image editing functionality, I believe it should stay there. There is also integration with SVG Edit and some other editors like what was it called? Not this, not Paint Web. This is the open source project that you can host on your own website, so there should be no banners in there, but their capabilities can be limited. So basically it is not the external services, For the image editing, it is just the open source project you host on your website and fire up image editor using it. Can the module update the image without refreshing the page? For now, it does not do it, but I believe, yes, it can be written, just replace the link of the image and it should be fine. For now, it is just not implemented. How configurable editor libraries are? Can we enable, disable tools there? Great question. I will answer it just in a minute. Is it payable? You mean different services? Yeah, about external service for sure. There are different services. Some of them require some payments, some of them are not. Basically, most of them are free to use. And there might be some Adobe Cloud subscriptions, I believe, because it has integration with Adobe Creative SDK. But most of these editors are free to use for some general use cases. Yep, like that. About configuration. So let me log into the demo and I will show you the configuration pages. For sure, you can select what editors you want to enable or disable. And let me show it to you. Manage fields. So for any image field, you can go into the edit settings and there should be image editor section. There you can select the editors which you want to get enabled, sort them out. So do the usual admin stuff like enable, disable any editors. And you can also see if the API key is required for any editor to use. And the same thing goes for the uploaders and some icons positioning. So like that. And there is also integration with file sources for creating new image. You can set the starting image and it's a great feature. It was asked in the Drupal issue queue. So you can basically provide the starting canvas. The users can start drawing on. Remember what? Okay, see you later, Yuri and Andrei. And there is also some configuration for the editors itself. It is in here. And the module can, the image editor plugins can provide some configuration form for the editor. And you can configure them here. And also choose the overlay. We would be custom overlay or using jQuery UI. And here is the image editor inline configuration. So basically, for any image field, you can configure it separately. And for the image editor inline that acts on any image you see on the screen, you should configure it in its separate configuration page. That's it. So guys, if you have any other questions, I'm ready to answer. And let me know how you like it. Thank you for listening, and see you next week. I'm not sure about the topic, but we will figure it out. It should be Silex. Yes, Dmitry. It will be about Silex?
Yep, you're right.
Okay, great. So hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just ask me about it. I'm ready to answer.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.